30 seconds.
Today is the day. It is race morning, bright and early. Spent the past 6-7 months getting ready for this, and we're down to the wire. Today is the day. We're gonna give it our best shot.
Being in the Coast Guard, there's been a lot throughout my career that I've learned that I've been able to apply, not only to building the race Jeep, but just my day-to-day lifestyle and activities.
There's a lot of this I couldn't do if I wasn't in the Coast Guard.
We're gonna push the limits of what this rig can do, push the limits of ourselves.
10 seconds, good luck.
Really give it our best shot and put all of our hard work to the test.
Go, 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 go.
I'm EM1 Benjamin Ertel, first class petty officer, electrician's mate in the Coast Guard, and down here at Station South Padre Island. In the Coast Guard, the training that you receive and the training that we work so hard to do, we're actually using it and implementing it on a day-to-day basis. Being an electrician's mate, we're able to work on anything that has electricity, whether it's a small boat, cutter, facilities. My favorite part is fixing things. I've always enjoyed making repairs and actually fixing something to let it continue doing what it needs to do. And I've enjoyed tinkering on Jeeps and off-road vehicles, and then I'm able to come work for the Coast Guard and do a similar job, fix the boats, repair the boats, maintain them. And to me, that's really what I enjoy doing.
I got into Jeeps when I was 15. It was my first vehicle. My mom gave me $2,000 to buy a car, and it broke down all the time, so I had to learn how to fix it. When I joined the Coast Guard, I continued my hobby, off-roading and working on Jeeps. And it wasn't until a few years later when I actually started making YouTube videos. I have a YouTube channel, JK Gear and Gadgets, where I build Jeeps, off-road vehicles, test them out, do product reviews, and really get into everything Jeep and off-road related. And it continued to grow and grow, and so did my Coast Guard career. And it got to the point where I had to step back, and I thought I was gonna have to give one of them up. But the great thing was, I was able to continue being in the Coast Guard, and I was able to continue my YouTube channel with the Coast Guard Reserves. The Reserves, it fits what I need it to do. I love the mission, I love the people, and I love the job. And of course, the healthcare and other benefits is always a nice plus. Like, to be real, like the benefits are nice, especially if you have a family. So I can still serve my country, I can still be part of the Coast Guard, and still be here doing what I love with off-roading. I love that every morning I'm able to wake up and do what I love doing. We're here in my shop in Oklahoma City. It's always been a dream of mine, not only to work for myself, but also be able to do something I love. My wife Cassie and I, we have 2 daughters, Ellie and Emma, twins. It's our own little utopia of what we all like to do as a family, is we all enjoy going outside, going on adventures, and being able to do that here at home is also an added plus.
My name's Mike Jury. I build Jeeps, I build hot rods, I build race cars. Also a retired electrician's mate in the Coast Guard, 24 years. Ben and I have a unique relationship. I taught EMA school, and basically Ben came through and learned how to be an electrician from A school.
I was probably a problem student, asking very complicated questions. That's probably what Mike would say.
It was rough. What was crazy about it is out of the 680 students I graduated through that, Ben was the only one who challenged me educationally.
We kind of clicked from the beginning there, and we had not only the common grounds of being in the Coast Guard, but also sharing a hobby, which was off-roading and Jeeps.
We've been building Jeeps for a while, and he called me up and asked, hey, what do you think about maybe going to the Hammers?
Everybody's dreamed about doing this. I have a Jeep here, what if we go ahead and just do it?
And I said, competing? How crazy are we talking? He goes, I'm talking all in.
I think Mike actually chuckled at first because a lot of people say that. They say, oh, let's build a King of the Hammers rig, and it never comes to fruition.
It was within our realm, 100%. But how good it was gonna be was the question. Like, how hard are we gonna go?
King of the Hammers, it's more than just a race. I am Brian Trotter. I am the race director for Ultra 4 USA. I've raced King of the Hammers 3 times. It's bring the best machine you can build and go to Johnson Valley and run hammers.
King of the Hammers is the hardest single-day race on the planet. There's nothing like it.
My motivation to really do all of this, I think, is to prove to myself that I could. It is an event about challenging yourself, building the ultimate machine, a little hint of skill and luck, and just determining grit on how far you want to go.
If you compete in hammers and you complete hammers, you're on another different kind of level. You are the creme de la creme. You are one step above all others out there in the off-road world.
Johnson Valley in itself is probably one of the most beautiful places on earth, and it can be the most horrible place on earth depending on your experience.
You know, they're basically taking a lake bed and setting up a town in the center of it. It's a brutal territory. There is no doubt about that.
I would say about 80 to 90% of the teams that actually show up at this race, their objective is actually to finish the race, not to compete, but just to finish. It requires such a commitment of not only the man, but the machine and the team just to be able to try to accomplish seeing a checkered flag at the end of it. What Mike and Ben are trying to do is a very, very big challenge.
And then it started. It's an unbelievable pace that you have to keep up. And I was out here at this shop for, 6 months, and the days never stopped.
Mike and I are almost operating on the same frequency. We usually think very similar when we're in the shop working. I know what he's doing, he knows what I'm doing. And it's something I've noticed throughout the Coast Guard, throughout my careers, having that same mentality of having a goal and how to accomplish it.
The workflow with us was just unbeatable. So if we were to work on something, we could get something done in a week that would take somebody a month with a crew. And it was just because the workflow with Ben and I was so good. When we got it all put together, the finished product was on point. It was unbelievable.
The first start of any new build, I don't care who you are, it is the most exciting part of the entire journey.
It was crazy because motor was in the Jeep, driveline was set, and the phone call came at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And he was like, hang on a second. You hear, vroom, 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 and it's running. And he's going nuts, the dog's going nuts, everything. And that was the day it came to life.
It was at that moment when I knew, hey, we did it. The goal's been met. And I was ready to get out there. Pulling into King of the Hammers for the first time as a competitor and a spectator. I'd never been there, so it was very overwhelming.
You're definitely on hallowed ground out there. Crazy amounts of history. It's upper tier.
All right, guys, it is about 10 minutes before we pull this out of the garage and head towards the line for qualifying. So a little bit nervous, first time for everything, but confident in how the rig's doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of time we get.
Getting up to the line, everything was rushed. You've got no time for anything.
This is the first time the rig has ever been in a race environment. So I start going for it. We punch it.
Go, 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 go.
Mike and I are cruising, and it is a blast. All the hard work we've put into this thing, we're going 40 miles an hour down a bumpy road on. We're having the time of our lives.
Yep. Yep, go. Was that a hard hit on the front left? Yeah. Slow. Yep. Yeah, that's a flat. Yeah. We're gonna have to change it. Call it. Call it.
And once the race started, we were no more than 2 minutes onto course and we blew the front left tire.
I remember feeling something that was just one of the hardest hits I've ever felt in a vehicle. There was a rock the size of a barrel in the middle of the race course, and my front driver tire just ran directly into it. It was about 30 feet later where we could feel the entire vehicle laid over. We should have just called it after that, but we thought it would still be a good idea to get a little more time. So we threw the spare on and continued on.
And then going up into resolution, we popped the other tire. At that point, we lost steering and we were dead in the water. We were done.
Luckily, it's qualifying, so we can get all this back together and continue on to race day with a fresh set of tires. Hopefully have a little bit better luck.
Next year's the year.
We're not done racing. There's still race day.
It was a rough qualifier, but when we qualified, we were ahead of the people that didn't qualify.
Even though we didn't make it through qualifying, the fact that we tried put us ahead of the people who didn't.
Some people would call it a win. We didn't call it a win, we called it prep for race day.
It put a sense of reality into us on what to expect on race day. Those things that broke could have broke on race day.
We now have 2 days to fix our power steering system, which is simple. It's a 14-cent O-ring. It's time to go start fixing things and hopefully find a new set of tires out here. We do have 4 more tires here, which were planned to be used across pit locations. Now we are down to 2, which means that plan has gone out the window unless we can find a new set of tires here at Hammertown.
I am nervous about the tire situation. It is a long course, these rocks are sharp, and there's no way you're making it through all of these trails without getting a handful of flats. And if we don't find a set, whether they're used, new, cost $800 a piece, we have to get them. And I've slowly realizing how hard that is to find out here. Everybody's looking for tires.
There is a lot that we're up against, and how hard could it be? We always joke about that. How hard could it be? Let's just build a race car. Yeah, sounds like a great plan. Yeah, it was. And it's cool. We're here. We made it. Now we need to go do some damage and make it a reality.